Welcome to Two Doctors Homestead. My name's Daniel, and this is another weekend edition of Two Doctors Prepping. Today we're testing out our backup power system. So I've been working on this system for about the last 6 months or so. It's our solar power backup. We got two 200 amp hour AGM batteries. We have 8 100 watt solar panels. 4 of them are facing north, 4 of them are facing south. You can see I have 2 charge controllers and then a 2000 watt inverter, and this has been wired back into the house. So I'll show you. We've got an outlet in the kitchen that plugs directly back into the inverter, and what we're going to do today is we're going to plug the refrigerator into the battery backup and just look at how much power it's drawing. So you can see right now my charge controllers are on float. Once again, this is the solar bank that's facing north. This is a solar bank that's facing south. I've got about 13.9 volts in the battery. And you can see our battery meter here is showing 100% and about a plus 1.8 amps. So we're on float. It's just putting a light charge in the battery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the panels. So I have breakers for each of the panel sets. So at this point we should have 0 power coming in, and we got minus about 1.72 amp draw, which is likely the inverter actually pulling power. So let's do that. Let's turn off the inverter. So this should get pretty close to 0. There shouldn't be anything really pulling power off the batteries. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the inverter back on for this test since we need power. And you can see a little jump. The inverter itself does use a little power. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to plug in the refrigerator, and we'll see how much draw it puts on the battery. You can see inside that outlet goes to my backup solar system, power system, out by the chicken coop. I just ran an outlet through the wall into the kitchen, and I'm just doing an extension cord. Obviously this is a little sloppy, a little dirty. That's not the point. You see the refrigerator's plugged in. Come over here. You can see the refrigerator is running. Alright, so you can see with the refrigerator plugged in, we're about -2 amps. So that would be about -2 amp hours. So that's about a -2 amp hours. You can see that the refrigerator's pulling just based on the draw on the batteries. Each of my batteries, as I said, are 200 amp hour AGM batteries. And because they are AGM batteries, you would never want to go below 50%, and theoretically the inverter should cut off if it got to that point anyway. But if it's taken about -2 amp hours to run and I have about 200 amp hours to play with, that tells me my batteries could probably run that refrigerator for about 100 hours. Now that would be without solar coming in to recharge them. Generally when you're using solar power, you're thinking 24-hour cycles, and that you want your panels, you want to have enough panels to charge your batteries during the day back to 100%, and you want enough batteries to carry your load for that 24 hours. And it looks right now just running that one fridge, I'd be okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here, you see me reaching over blind, I'm going to reconnect my panels to the system. So now I have the power coming in through the panels. Once these turn on, we should actually see a positive charge. So the charge controllers are waking up. They're coming in. You got the voltage coming up here. we should see this. You see this is dropping here. So it went from -2, now it's plus 14, plus 15. It's trying to catch up, plus 14 amps. So I realized, hey, the batteries are down a little bit. It's in MPPT mode. So it's now coming back and charging up. Alright, so as long as the sun is up, you can see I'm able to charge these batteries pretty quickly. When the sun's down or on a really cloudy day, it's again, you go back to battery mode. So just like anything, if you have a backup system, you don't really know if it's going to work or how well it's going to work until you test it out. Same thing with a generator. If your backup plan for power is a generator, you actually need to run it probably once a month for a couple minutes, or they can demagnetize. So any kind of backup system, any kind of backup plan, test it out, make sure it still works. You just never know. So thank you for watching. We appreciate you.